Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So I'm here with my February favorites, and I have lots of good stuff that I really was loving this month, so let's get into it. So starting off with the makeup, I have just a couple of items to mention. The first is this Hourglass Ambient lighting. It's in the color Ethereal Light. It's the one that's like a white color. Now, I had been like lusting after these for a few years. Like the ambient lighting powders, and I just really want, like, every time you go in Sephora I like to like swatch them, and I just really wanted them, or wanted one of them at least, but it was one of those products I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use this. Is it just going to sit in my makeup bag unused? So I was a little hesitant about getting it, especially considering how expensive these are. But I got this one for Christmas, and I have to say I've used it like every day. I use it, since it's just like a white powder, like I just use it all over my face, kind of as a final like finishing powder. I just like if I have my blush, it might be a little too intense, it just kind of tones it down. It just sort of diffuses the makeup on my face and just gives me kind of a glow and just looks really pretty. So I've really been enjoying this. So definitely has been a favorite. And then my other sort of makeup favorite is this fresh sugar lip treatment in the color Honey. And this I love. This I take with me. I have in my purse. It's just like kind of a nudish color. I take it in my purse with me and reapply it throughout the day. It's perfect. It's really moisturizing, but it also gives my lips a tint. I love these fresh sugar lip treatments, and definitely Honey is one of my favorite colors of it. So definitely have been enjoying that. So that's it for makeup favorites. Now I have a few kind of body care favorites. The first is this Honest Sea Salt and Sugar Body Scrub. It's in the set Lavender Vanilla. And this I got in one of I had like 2 boxes of the Pop Sugar must-haves. This might have been like maybe October box, September, October. But this I really like. The scent, first of all, is really great. I love lavender scented things. So I love the scent. But also the scrub is great itself. It's kind of an oil-based scrub with the sugar and the salt. So the oil kind of helps so it doesn't dissolve like immediately. So it's really great. Like it exfoliates really nice. It's not too intense of an exfoliator, but it's just really nice. And I've really been enjoying this. So definitely that has been a favorite. Another body care item. Another item I got for Christmas. This is from the Body Shop. This is the Virgin Mojito Body Butter. And this has been great, especially since it's been colder. I love like a thick body butter, especially in the winter. But this, so the texture, the formula of this is great, and also the scent of it is really nice. That kind of lime scent is just so unique. I love like citrus scents, but you don't often see like a lime scented product, so this is really nice. So definitely have been enjoying that. So moving on to some sort of non-product favorites. Definitely for me, February has been a month for reading. I'm doing my Project 10 book. I read a lot in February. So reading in general has been a favorite. If I had to pick out one standout book, it would be The Boston Girl by Anita Diamant. But this book is really good. So it's set in the early 1900s in Boston. It follows a woman kind of throughout her like late teenage years, through her 20s, early 30s. And it's kind of written, she's writing like a letter to her granddaughter, or she's being interviewed by her granddaughter in like 1985. So this woman's looking back on her life and talking about kind of how her like young adult into like womanhood years. It's just really interesting. I really enjoyed this book. And then I've also been listening to a lot of great audiobooks. I love listening to audiobooks like when I drive to and from work. Oftentimes, most 99% of the time, I'm like sitting in traffic. So it can be really like stressful and not the most fun thing in the world. But audiobooks just make the time not maybe pass faster, but I just feel better about what just sitting in my car, sitting in traffic. So been listening to a lot of great audiobooks. The standout audiobook has been the one I'm currently listening to. Almost finished with it. It's The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. It's set in World War II in Nazi-occupied France, and it follows two sisters kind of throughout the war. Very different sisters, but it's just such an interesting book, like historical fiction. I love books about that time period, and you know, they can be like heavy books and hard to listen to, but I find it really interesting. This one is definitely falls into that, you know, heavy book. At times it can be like quite an emotional like drive home listening to it, but it's so good. Definitely recommend that book if you are into books about that time frame. And then I have some TV favorites. I don't know, there's just like a lot of good TV shows that I've gotten into this month. So of course I have to mention the kind of my standby favorites, Downton Abbey, which this last season is so good. I'm so sad it's ending, but this last season they're making like really, really good. So I can't wait for the final episode of that. I just hope everyone gets their happy ending, especially Edith. Oh my goodness. But that show has been so good. Also The Walking Dead, completely different from Downton Abbey, but The Walking Dead this season, or like the second half of this season, has just been so good so far. It's a very intense show. But I have been loving it, and oh, that show is so good. And then some newer shows I wanted to mention. The first one, probably my favorite show of the month, is The People vs. O.J. Simpson on FX. It's kind of has a long title. It's like The People versus O.J. Simpson, like American crime story, which actually American Horror Story, so it's kind of the same thing. So like Ryan Murphy does American Horror Story, which each season is like a completely new story with a different set of characters. So the American Crime Story is the same sort of thing. So there'll be each season will be a different story. The first one's based on the O.J. Simpson trial, and I just think it's so interesting. I love that it's based on an actual event. I think it's just is interesting. It's something people kind of want to know about and, you know, just kind of relive sort of. So super interesting. I think it was really well cast. The acting is great, and also like the set design is so like authentic, and like every little detail is just so great. It's like they really wanted this to seem authentic, so I think it really works, and it's super enjoyable. So loving that. And that's on Comedy Central this month. Broad City. It's season 3 started again, or started I guess. So I love that show. It's just so funny and like relatable. It's these two girls like in their 20s living in New York City, and it's just so funny. I don't know. I really like that show. I'm super glad it's back. So definitely have been loving that. And then my final TV favorite that I have to mention, and it was at the very end of February, so you know, I'll still include it in February favorites, but it's Fuller House on Netflix. And I love Full House. Definitely grew up with Full House, you know, watched the episodes like reruns like multiple times. And I don't know, something about Fuller House is just so nostalgic, but like so good and like enjoyable. And I know like critics like pan the show, hate the show, but I just think it's a show, it's meant for like the fans of the original show, and it's just fun to watch. And I don't think it needs to be, like, not every show is going to be like an Emmy-winning, critically acclaimed sort of show. That's not what it is meant for. I just think it's just so fun. I don't know. And it's definitely great on Netflix because it's the type of show that you want to watch, like, multiple episodes in a row. Kind of like how Full House is. Like, I feel like now people watch Full House as, like, reruns, and you want to watch, like, multiple ones in a row. So, like, Fuller House is the same sort of thing. So, definitely have been enjoying that. Definitely recommend it if you liked Full House back in the day. And my last favorite is actually what I'm wearing. And this is probably my, like, favorite of the month. I don't know. It's just been great. But this I got at H&M. I got it actually in February, and it's kind of like a blanket sweater, so you can kind of see It's just really like baggy, and I can like wrap it around myself, but it has like a blanket with arms, but it's like, I think it's fashionable enough. It doesn't look straight up like a blanket. Like I can wear this out of the house to like run errands and stuff, but this has been what I've been like living in this month. But it's just so great. Like for February, you know, it's like been rainy and like kind of cold, and you know, you just want to like stay in and like read or like watch something. So this is just great for like lounging around. And so I have been loving this month. So that is everything, all of my favorites. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.